Good night. It wasn't her mother's voice. Hey, I'm Sapphire. Want to hear something scary? This is a true story from a friend of mine who spent 3 months living in a haunted house. When Lauren was 4 years old, her dad got a new job in West Virginia. They bought a nice plot of land where they planned to build their house. It was going to be a while before they would be able to move in, and so they looked around for a house they could live in temporarily. They needed to find a place fast, and so they were excited to find one that was incredibly cheap. They pulled up to a large house made of old dark wood on Kenwood Place. The front yard had a tree from which a rickety old swing swayed in the wind. In the backyard was a pool. This house was built in the 1800s. It's got a lot of charm and history, so are you interested? The realtor said, shoving the contracts in front of them. They barely had a chance to look at the entire house, but Lauren's parents were so desperate to find a place that they weren't even taken aback by how insistent the realtor was. It is a really good deal, Lauren's mom said, and it'll only be temporary. Yes, we'll take it, Lauren's dad told her. Oh, thank God. Congratulations! From the moment they moved into the house, everyone in the family had an uneasy feeling, but because they were desperate, they chose to ignore it. Odd things happened every now and then, like showers turning on and off when no one was in the bathroom. Lights would turn back on after being turned off. Lauren's parents would accuse her of playing with the switches, but Lauren was much too short to reach them. They also kept hearing weird, muffled sounds, like groans and crying, all coming from the one room they hadn't had a chance to look at, the basement. It's probably just old pipes, her dad would say. A week had passed since they moved in, and they decided to celebrate by taking a dip in their new pool. Lauren couldn't swim, so she stayed at the edge, right by her mother. Then the phone inside the house began to ring. Honey, can you keep an eye on Lauren? And no more than 1 second after she stepped out of the pool, she heard a loud splash. She turned around to find Lauren in the other end of the pool, sinking deeper and deeper under the water. Lauren's mother jumped back in and swam towards her daughter and pulled her out to safety. She has no idea how Lauren ended up on the opposite side of the pool in such a short amount of time. That wasn't the only time something unexplainable happened to Lauren. She never used to have trouble sleeping alone until she moved to that house. Some nights, before she went to bed, she would hear a woman say, "Good night," right as she turned off the lights. And it wasn't her mother's voice. The sounds from the basement continued until one day, her dad decided to go down there and investigate. He opened the door, turned on the lights, and screamed. Lauren and her mother came running, and her mother told her not to look, but of course she did. There, in the basement, was an antique electric chair. As it turns out, this house was used as a torture site in the 1800s, and many people suffered and lost their lives within these walls. Over the next 3 months, strange things continued to happen. Lauren's dad had a mysterious cut on his hand that wouldn't heal. Her mother almost suffocated from choking when she wasn't eating. They finally decided to sell the house and stay in a hotel until their new house was finished with construction. The day they left, Lauren saw a man waving goodbye to them on the front steps. It wasn't until they moved out of that house that they learned that the previous owners also had similar things happen to them. And the man who bought the house after them was arrested for being in possession of torture weapons, which he swears didn't belong to him, but were part of the house. Whether or not the people who were killed in that house deserve to die, they've made it very clear that they don't want to be the only ones to suffer there. So, do you think those spirits were friendly or malevolent? Would you have stayed in that house as long as Lauren and her family did? Let me know in the comments. Thanks to Lauren Gankaiko for sharing this story with me. Like this video if it gave you the chills, and don't forget to subscribe to Snarled and check out our other videos. And if you dare to follow me, my links are in the description below. Until next time, sweet dreams.